This weekend, our parish is participating in a missionary cooperation plan. So we are blessed to have Sister Theresa from the missionaries of the Daughters of Charity. So he's going to deliver his message now and ask for your support to support her mission. Welcome, Sister Theresa.
It's wonderful to be with you here this morning. I'm a daughter of Charity. Many people may know from Marillac High School or Marillac House downtown. We've served in Chicago for 165 years, and throughout the world we have about 10,500 Daughters of Charity who are reaching out to those in need. And it's always great to be at one of the parishes and to see the light of Christ in action, which I see here at OPH. But I want to start with the Gospels and the readings. I love, first of all, that today, or yesterday anyway, was the feast of Our Lady of Perpetual Help. Happy Feast Day. And that image of Our Lady of Perpetual Help, that word, perpetual. Mary is always with us. God's love, perpetual, is always with us. And as we go forth to serve as Daughters of Charity throughout the world, it's that bringing that hope, that message of love through the different social services and care of the poor outreach. And that love is talked about in that first reading. I love that image of hospitality. Elisha is traveling, and a woman of influence welcomes him. And what a difference that made for him. You know, we are all peoples of influence in one way or another. It could be huge, but sometimes that influence is welcoming people in. Now, I know as I prepared to come here, OLPH staff and parishioners were already welcoming me, preparing these fancy things in the bulletins that tell you all about us. All those little things are little, but they give us a sense of church where people are welcome. And that welcome is the living message of the gospel of love. But when you hear that story, we hear it based on how we live today. But think of Elisha traveling during a time when there were dirt, rocky roads. There's no car. If he was lucky, he had a donkey. And to go on an exhausted trip and GPS, where's the restaurant? No restaurant, no McDonald's, no hotel. Think about it. If you went someplace, where are you going to stay? So that sense of welcoming was critical, not only to relieve hunger, but that safety. And many of our sisters live in communities in Africa and South America, in India right now, on the northeast, where there's a lot of breakouts of war, where there's that same rocky roads. And then the Gospels talk about how we use our gifts. If you use the holy man, the prophet gets the holy man's reward. But I love the last line of the Gospel where it says, if somebody gives a child a glass of water, the reward that comes with that. Now, when I think of a glass of water on a hot day like today, I think of a real glass. It tastes better out of a glass. A real glass with ice and cold water. And you take that sip. Now that's a glass of water. But do you realize what a luxury a glass of water is? A glass of clean water is? I'm actually part of the committee from the Vatican Dicastery on Integral and Human Development. Doesn't that sound fancy? It's really the social service arm of the church. And they were looking at the hospitals and clinics. Do you realize 25% of healthcare facilities are Catholic? We should be really proud of that. We are out there as church. But in poorer areas, about 37% of them don't have potable water. About 82% of them don't have sanitation. So you know, this will be a little earthy, but you know, when I drink that good glass of water, I'm at the age, I want to know where the, you know, you go down the elevator there, that's where the bathrooms are at OLPH, right? But imagine not only not knowing, but knowing there isn't one there. And so the Vatican looked at this and said, we need to change. And so I was part of the committee, and they looked and they identified 150 healthcare facilities in poorer countries. 4 of those were Daughters of Charity. And we worked with nonprofit engineers and got these diggers in. I've learned more about geology than I ever wanted to know. You got to go down 200 feet in some of these places. There's a reason they don't have access to clean water. And just April, we were together in Rome, and we celebrated the success of what's been done. I was very proud because the Daughters of Charity not only did the 4 ones that they identified, but of course, when you do one for our sisters, the other sisters hear about it, and they want it too, right? And so we are in the process of doing 17 healthcare facilities with WASH. That's water, sanitation, and hygiene. And then the schools also didn't have it. So we've done another 16 of the schools and social agencies. You know, parents, how you pick out a school? The school in Peru said, you know, the good news is we got water coming in. That would influence where you send your kid, right? But you just got to turn it on for 10 minutes and it turns from black to clear. Wonder why kids were getting indigestion and missing school? When we did that facility, the cook wrote us and said, you know, I can give out breakfast now on time because everything's not delayed trying to get water and purify water and get it done. And so that access to water is very critical. Think about it. At that Rome meeting, one of the best speakers, I thought, was Sister Toyin. She was a Daughter of Charity, but she was the one that was from the grassroots. And she told about the impact that the water project that we did for them had. And she said, now that we have water and electricity, if you deliver at night, they don't have to use a flashlight. Yeah, I see your grimace right there at that idea of a flashlight for a delivery. And she also said, now we have a doctor that wants to work at our clinic and we can keep him. And so it changes the amount of infant mortality and maternal infections, just goes right down. As women who are in here, if you lived in one of these countries, you would probably have spent 60% of your day getting and preparing water. Going down 3 times a day, 20-minute walk, carrying it back, boiling it. And so this is life-changing when we help our sisters with that. We work with our sisters on all kinds of things, from food to medicines, but just coming back from Rome, I'm kind of on fire saying we can't have any facilities without WASH. So 100% of every donation that we get from here will go to helping build and sustain these projects. with our sisters throughout the world. And we're constantly getting, there's more information. The bulletin has a great write-up if you want to learn more about some of our other projects. Actually, I just got an email. Our sisters in Venezuela were affected by the earthquake in their ministry. So that's next on my thing, but that's for next week. So I want to thank you in advance for your generosity, not only your generosity in dollars, but also your generosity in prayer. Because this unites us as a church, and this unites us as a world. And when I hear from our sisters, when I finally fill some of their grants, we just filled out 30 before I left town on Friday. It not only allows them to do these projects, but it gives them hope that as they're struggling, as the gospel said, you know, offering up their life for Christ, there are people around the world that are with them in support. There is church that is praying for them. And they really, really appreciate that, and they send their prayers back. So the OLPH, they're very creative, you know. They have all kinds of ways, from the QR code from Give Central to the second collection to any way you want to donate. There's a way here. So thank you so much, and pray with us to Our Lady of Perpetual Help that she will be that perpetual help that helps the sisters proclaim the gospel and be the hands and feet of Christ throughout the world. I am going to exit stage right to go to the 9:30 Mass, but I'll be back here, and there'll be volunteers at the end if you want to know anything more. So thank you. In Our Lady of Perpetual Help, pray for us. Thank you.
Thank you, sister, for the wonderful message and the work you do in the mission. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. Our digital ministry provides a valuable service to parishioners and visitors alike. Daily and Sunday Mass, funerals, weddings, and fireside chats, among other things, can be seen locally, throughout the country, and even the world, in real time or at one's convenience. If you would like to support this effort, please go to olphglenview.org. Click on the gold Donate button and then the Sunday Giving icon to make a contribution on our secure online giving portal. We sincerely appreciate your past and ongoing support. Thank you for helping us continue this ministry. God bless.